Well, guys, we got the first numbers for She-Hulk in terms of performance for the first episode. And not surprising at all, it's managed to do better than Ms.Marvel, the previous series from Marvel Studios. So this info comes at us from the good old Samba TV, where they report that when it comes to She-Hulk and the views that the first episode got for the series, it pulled in about 1.5 million US households streaming it. Now, I do want to mention something here that I think needs to be brought into the conversation in regards to Samba TV. And this isn't just because of these numbers, it's in general indicative to me in terms of what it means for their numbers and how they compare. Because Samba TV recently went on and revealed some of their numbers for Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon. And then once we saw the official numbers from HBO, we saw a discrepancy of close to 7.5 million views. Because it did more than 10 million on HBO once we got all the numbers, but they had theirs somewhere around 2.5 I saw, which again, that just tells you the difference in metrics and what they're measuring, because they're just measuring data usage and they hope it's correct. Here, they're measuring actual numbers. So again, She-Hulk did 1.5 million views? Maybe. Or maybe it did way more than that. But again, it's how they analyze the numbers. And it's also not surprising that it did double what Ms.Marvel did. Which again, is expected, I would think. It's She-Hulk, way more known than Ms.Marvel. It also had the Hulk. Ms.Marvel had nobody other than Ms.Marvel. And again, it's a series that's positioned right here when we had a bit of a slowdown in the lull. And also, it was a couple weeks, actually no, like a month and a couple weeks past the release of Thor. So there was already that, hey, what's the next thing from Marvel? Well, here's She-Hulk. And there was already buzz going into it. People were on both sides of the argument, whether this is going to be the next bomb or not. So there was a lot of people tuning in, obviously. So things are looking pretty good for this series. We are going to have to wait a little bit longer to see how it compares to some of the other shows, but I'm going to guess it's going to be somewhere in the middle, would be my guess. But I guess we'll find out soon. But it did better than Ms.Marvel, so I guess that's something.